It is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. It is time for the Monday message. I am so excited to be chatting with everybody today. Let me tell you something. There is money being left on every table. There is money being left on every table if you're not adding Medicare to what you're doing. So I am so excited about this call today. I can't wait to get Adina Decker on the call to walk through how they are doing so much Medicare. It's always fun for me. Like in January, when I start looking at deposits, I'm like, I wonder how much the Deckers will get this time. I'm just telling you, it is a absolute gold mine. So I can't wait to get into that. Let's first get into the week that was. Let's go submitted. Everybody over 1,000 for last week. We got Donita coming in, Rogers and Kim, Chrissy, Pam, Polo, Jeremico, Irma. We got David O'Brien. We got Jessica Rasmussen, Mimi Ramiro, Misha Marsh. We got Patrick, Raymond, Adina, Elizabeth, Ray, Dan, Eli, Brianna. I threw in a few apps somehow last week. In the midst of everything I had going on. Last week was a crazy week for me, guys. Marissa, Sydney, Aaron Wilson, Mallory Barnes. We got Tom Payne. We got Brian Allendorf out there in San Diego. By the way, I just booked a new San Diego meeting. I'm telling you, we've got Anaheim coming up here in a little over a week and a half. I'm following that up with a San Diego meeting after that, so I can't wait to get all those details out to everybody. David Fleming, David Helgeson, we got Haley, Sabrina Floyd, way to go, Sabrina. Ryan, we got Aubrey, we got Jude, we got Janet Brush, Mark Hutchison with $10,800. How about that? $10,857.24. Doesn't get, there's two 10,000s that aren't in the top 5. I love that, man. That is awesome. That is so exciting to see these results happen. Let's go to our top 5 from the week that was. Top 5, you got Rob coming in with $14,293.80. You got Andre Lee coming in at $14,482.08. You got Robert at $16,207.90. Mercedes, way to go. Mercedes, $24,317.88 last week alone. I love it. Adam Burrs, number 1. $26,756.28 last week alone. That is awesome. Man, what an incredible week we had. That is fantastic. All right, let's go to our next slide. Top 5 paychecks. See some of the usual suspects here. Rogers and Kim depositing $4,465.62. Aaron Wilson depositing $5,719.07. Nick Greco depositing $7,051.67. Andre Lee depositing $8,983. And number 1 paycheck last week, Mr. Mike Guerra was at the PGA Championship, and while he's there, getting deposited $9,491.89. Here's what I'd be asking myself, just looking at those submit numbers, looking at those deposits. If you didn't get what you wanted to get in the month of April or thus far in the month of May, what is missing? Because I'm just telling you, it's just a few tweaks away. It's just a few tweaks away. You see these results. I want those results for everybody on the team. Man, that's awesome. That is so awesome. All right, let's go to our next leaderboard. Recruiting, we got Marty putting in a fast track, contracts flowing with Mercedes, Sabrina, Eli, we got Ariel and Matt Albertson, all with new contracted agents every week. I'm just telling you, that's another mark. Just look for, am I contracting a new agent at least a new agent every single week? Because that's how you make progress, not just in an addition fashion, but in a multiplication fashion. Matt Albertson, by the way, opening up an office in Utah to really start getting new agents off the ground there. So excited about that. My travel schedule, so I will be at so it says Santa Ana, but that's where I'm flying into. It's the closest, but it's Anaheim, California. Go to theallianceevents.com. It's going to be an incredible event. It's going to start off Wednesday evening. Andy Albright's going to show the plan, talk about the opportunity, and then we'll have training after that. Thursday training all day. We're going to kick off at 9, go till about 5, and then we've got a fun event a social event at a brewery right there close to the hotel there, the Hilton, in the Anaheim Hilton. And then Friday morning, kick off at 9, and we are done, I think, at 1 p.m. It's going to be, what we're trying to do is bring a mini convention to the West Coast. And here's what I want. And I've been telling everybody that'll listen to me this. Here's what I want. I want one of our big events next year, one of the big four. I want that in Phoenix or Vegas or somewhere out west. So here's what I need. Help me, help me, help me, help me. Let's make Anaheim massive. Give me something to sell Andy when I'm in Anaheim, and I will sell, sell, sell. I'm just telling you, I want one of the big events out there. I know we'll always have NatCon in Dallas. We're gonna next year move events around a little bit. I want one on like Phoenix, Vegas, LA. I want Salt Lake. I want something out there because I just know the opportunity is huge. So help me, give me something to sell, and I will sell with everything I got in me. June 2nd, Detroit, Michigan. I will be there. Looking forward to that meeting. It will be at Rogers and Kim's new office that they're setting up for estate planning. And of course, we got Cabo right in the middle there. So excited to go to Cabo with all the Cabo winners. If you didn't win Cabo, let it burn. Just let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it motivate you. Don't explain. Don't excuse. Just go, I didn't make Cabo because I didn't do what it took to make Cabo. I will not miss Thailand because you don't want to miss Thailand. That's why I say let it burn. I don't say let it burn because I'm like, want you to feel bad. I want you to be motivated. I wanted to feed your fire for Thailand because you got to go to Thailand. All right. And then I'm going to San Diego June 24th, trying to position that about a month after the Anaheim meeting to give us some momentum. Then I'll be booking some July stuff. Tell me where I can help you in July. Tell me where I can help you coming out of family reunion in August. My schedule is being worked on right now for those months. Family reunion in Burlington, July 17th through the 20th. That is going to be an epic event. And first policies. Yes, I love this. So we're going to start doing this. So new agents that just issue paid a policy. We got Freddie Amusa out there in Salt Lake City, Brian Allendorf in San Diego, Noah Zachariah, Dawn Houston, and Valencia Reed, all issue paying new policies. That's exciting, man. I love seeing new people get their first stuff issue paid. That's what gets me up and gets me fired up. Is that all our slides for today? Oh, I'm sorry, one more? No more. All right. So, can you change my screen where I can see Adina? All right. Chandler is currently in Alaska, so me and Adam are running the show. I love it. Awesome. So here's what I just want to talk to everybody just for a few minutes. Guys, Medicare is one of those opportunities to absolutely amplify your cash flow. If you're just writing a life, but you're not adding Medicare to that, you are leaving money on the table. Worse than that, you're leaving clients open to someone else. Because here's the thing about life insurance. You don't have to buy life insurance. The government doesn't say, although I think they should. That should GoFundMe down though. I think they should say you have to have life insurance, right? Like you can't have a child unless you have life insurance. I think that should be a law. It's not a law. It's crazy, right? You don't have to have life insurance. You have to have Medicare and a Medicare Advantage or a Medicare supplement. You have to have it. So here's what's crazy. We will sell like crazy what the government doesn't tell people they have to have. And then we don't sell them the thing that the government says, you have to have this. So here's why I say that. Number one, it's cash left on the table. Number two, it's clients left exposed. And here's what I know. Here's what I know about insurance agents. There's a lot of people out there that do not have the client's best interest at heart. They might pass their best interest training, but they don't have the client's best interest at heart. So if you don't, or if you don't have a downline agent, someone in your organization, help make sure the Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements get taken care of. Not only is it money left on the table, you're exposing your client to other agents because they're going to have to go get it. They're going to have to go get it. So it might as well be with us. It might as well be with you. It might as well be with someone you trust on your team. Does it make sense? So Adina Decker is our top Medicare person, and it's not by a little bit. It's by it's Adina and then there's a cliff. I'm just telling you, there's a massive opportunity in there, guys. Massive opportunity. So I'm excited to listen to Adina. I'm excited for you to get some ideas from her on how you can add Medicare to your mix. But Adina and Seth Decker are they're in South Florida. or no, not South Florida, Orlando-ish, middle-ish Florida. They're in Middle Florida.
Right, right.
Do what?
Steven, we're in Southwest Florida.
Southwest Florida. Okay, I thought I was right. I
Yeah, yeah,
said
yeah. You had it
it.
right the first time.
You ever say something, Adina, and then you're like, as soon as you say it, like now all of a sudden I don't feel as sure as before I said it.
A lot of times, yeah.
That's what happened there. So, guys, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to listen in. I encourage you to listen in, make some notes. I'm telling you, if you will just add this piece to your business, it's extra cash flow and it's clients that will be protected, clients that will keep that you'll make sure are looked after by you and not let another agent in the house. Adam, can we do questions? If someone has questions, how do we do this?
They can put it in the chat, and then I can say them.
In the chat on YouTube? Okay, so if you have questions in the chat, I'm sorry, if you have questions, put them in the chat on YouTube, and then Adam will get those questions to us for Adina. So, all right, Adina Decker, talk to us about Medicare.
So to piggyback off what you're saying, Stephen, it is a shame to not be doing Medicare. If you're in the home and you're doing final expense, especially with somebody, they probably have Medicare. So, of course, we've learned, right, we can't cross-sell on that appointment. That's fine, but there are ways of transitioning and setting up another appointment to talk to them about Medicare. If you guys like the idea, because one of the things that motivated me was, hey, I can actually build this book of business. Yes, you want to talk about retention. You want to make sure that you are their person for Medicare. And like Stephen was saying, for everything else then too, within the household. But it's awesome to not only get that bump in January, and when I say bump, it's a nice size bump. Yeah, you work hard. October 15th to December 7th. It's called annual election period, and that's when people are switching their plans. And so that's your opportunity when you're switching a plan for someone to get that bump. But then what's really cool is every month after that, I just get paychecks that come in and I'm not doing anything. I mean, do I field a call once in a while? Yes, but that's about it. Then you also have people that are turning 65. That's where you really want to, if you can, you're not going to be able to just hone in on people turning 65, but you want to try to get to those folks because you want to become their person from the get-go. And the payout is a little bit better too when they're turning 65. But here's the thing, Medicare, one of the words in Medicare is care. So you have to care about these people, especially the demographic that you're going to be working with. It does require some patience. It requires asking good questions to really feel out what their needs are. Once you do that, then you can narrow down what their options are, what options are going to best suit them, and present that to them. And the beauty of it, like Steven says, you're going to close it because they have to get it. They know they have to get it. Even if you sit with somebody, let's say you sit with somebody and they say, oh, but you know what, yeah, I'm turning 65, but I wasn't sure. I have work insurance, or my husband has work insurance, and we're thinking about staying with that. It's going to take just an extra step, but find out what does their work insurance look like? Because a lot of times when I sit down and I review that with folks, what they can get through Medicare is still better. It's better for them. It's better coverage, the whole nine yards. And then, of course, Medicare also, you can offer them plans that are $0 a month. That's crazy. I mean, if you are killing it selling, like Steven said, selling life insurance where you're asking them to pay, two, three, $500 a month, even $100 a month, then you switch to Medicare and it's $0 a month. It is it's a much easier close. We'll put it that way. But it does take a little bit of work. There is a little ramp up to it. It's all about getting that clientele number up because you want to have this renewable commissions coming in every year. And you're going to lose some, but you're going to gain a lot too. So building your reputation, the cool thing about it in the beginning. So Steve and I were talking about this. Well, how do you build that book of business? That's always the biggest thing for new clients. New agents coming on doing Medicare. What do I do? How do I do it? Well, of course, you can buy turning T65, turning 65 leads. Those do work. And don't look at it. Here's the cool thing with Medicare too. You buy those leads, let's say, I don't know, you've got 100 leads sitting there. And let's say for some reason you only get 4 clients out of those 100 leads. And you might be like, oh man, I just made back, all I did was make back what I paid for those leads. That's all you made back that year. But you're going to make that same amount year over year. And then those people are going to refer you to their friends. And that's what's happening, guys. I'm at a point where now I'm just getting so many referrals. I get calls all the time. People are just calling in. I'm not even, with life insurance, and I'm not saying keep doing life insurance. You see those big numbers. You're not going to get $24,000, 26,000 like Adam Burge did in a week. No, that's not going to happen with Medicare. But um, the cool thing is that you build up that reputation and you're just going to start getting people calling in, and that will and can lead to other things like annuities, like life insurance, like estate planning, because now you can do it all. Or like Steven says, maybe somebody in your team is wanting to focus on Medicare. Great. Because to speak to that, Medicare, um, it's great, but anything that's great takes some work. So for example, to get started, you want to make sure that you have what's called your AHIP. Basically, that's your certification that allows you to sell Medicare. Once you have that, then you want to make sure you're contracted with all the carriers you can offer folks in your area, and then they'll have their certifications, and you will be recertifying every year for those. The other thing is too, no one's an expert going out the door, but you do want to fake it till you make it. So I don't think any of us are strangers to that. To be good in this industry, you do kind of have to fake it till you make it. The cool thing is though, is within NAA, we don't even have to really fake it because we've got experts you can reach out to. You've got Ivy Wilson, you got Gina, myself, other top producers. Just look on the leaderboard. You'll see those 5, top producers. You can reach out to those ones, ask them some questions, set up an appointment with Ivy to ask her questions, and you will still know more than the people that you're sitting with. This is something that's controlled by the government. So guess what? It's complicated. They made it a little complicated. But once you figure out what original Medicare is, what the parts are, when you can enroll in somebody, what the exceptions are to enroll someone, you get that down, you start to understand the plans that are available in the area. That's it. You've become an expert. You just have to, exude that as well. Because people who are looking for help with Medicare, that's what they want. They want someone who is an expert at it. Don't let that discourage you though, because we all start somewhere. A cool thing that I did when I first started was I just reached out to my family and I said, look, guys, everybody who was on Medicare, this is what I'm going to start doing. Can I just do a review with you? I want to just test out how would I sit down with somebody, what questions would I ask them? How would I examine their plan and look at other plans that are available? They let me do it. We actually found where they could do better. I signed them up. So now they're my clients, right? So that's one way you can just do a little practice session with folks. There's also some sandbox practice tech that you can use too with different carriers. Some people are really killing it going to Walmart during annual election period, and you can talk to Ivy Wilson about that too. But you can set up times that you go in, you sit there, you've seen these people before, H&R Block's in there. I had one client, one agent, excuse me, she got like 60 new clients in just a 2-month period sitting there for a few hours a week. So that's one way of doing it. Of course, buying turning 65 leads. There's other leads too during AEP. Once you get those leads, now you have permission to call them. You have permission to call. You can't just start calling everybody that you know that's turning 65. Unfortunately, Medicare does have some rules and regulations that we've got to follow. But once you've got a lead, or you've been to an event, maybe it was at Walmart, or maybe you went to an event, which this works wonderfully. If you can try to contact associations in your area, anything to do with seniors, and you present yourself as an expert in Medicare and you would like to do an educational seminar on Medicare, just Medicare and you and what it means, the folks that attend can fill out what we call a permission to contact form. That is your lead. Now, I don't want to get in trouble with anybody who's generating leads over there because these are, quote unquote, free leads. But the combination, there is no, and I will tell you guys this too, there is no niche that you're going to find. You need it all. You need to just try to do it all. That's how you are going to build that book. So get the leads, do a seminar, get your own leads that way, then you'll get referrals, and it just starts to snowball. The seminars can be really, really good because it just gets word out there that you're in the area and you are that expert on Medicare. I will say this, that, you want to make sure that you are following the rules that Medicare has laid out. Don't let that though scare you. I want to say maybe it was like 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I think it was 2 years ago. Not this past AEP, but the AEP before, they made it mandatory that when we're calling folks, no matter what we're talking about with Medicare, we need to be on a recorded line. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be hard. Now they're just making it harder on us, blah, blah. It was fine. It was fine. And I like it better now. Now you have a record saying that you explained A, B, and C to your client. So it's really, it's a protection for you too. So don't let that intimidate you that you have to be on this recorded line. I'll tell you what, if you go in with confidence that you have to be on the recorded line, no one cares. I have never had anyone complain about it. So you'll be fine that way. You probably have heard about getting this, what we call a scope of appointment. The new rule is that if you get a scope of appointment, you need to wait 48 hours before meeting with the client again to discuss the options that they have, to like go into detail about plans. But the workaround is if they call into you, and they might be calling your cell number or your office number, that's not that, you're going to get a recorded line phone number. This is not something you have to figure out. Once you get going, you will be given that number. So, but maybe they called into your office, just say, hey, do you mind just calling me back on my dedicated Medicare line? Yeah, no problem. Now they've called you, they have reached out to you. You can get that scope of appointment right then and there with them, either telephonically or electronically through an email e-form. And you can go ahead and have the discussion right then and there and put them in a plan, on the spot. The other workaround for not having to wait 48 hours, if you're somebody like the Struthers, they're getting a brick and mortar building or they have one. If those folks walk in, boom, you can have them sign the scope of appointment form, which just gives you permission to assist them with Medicare. And you can have the appointment right then and there and go ahead and put them in a plan. But don't even let the 48 hours discourage you, especially when you're starting off. It's not a bad thing. You might start to get a little idea, okay, where are they? Are they new to Medicare? Are they already in a plan? You get the scope of appointment. Hey, now you've got 48 hours to reach out to myself, to Ivy, and just kind of feel out, okay, where should I go from here on our appointment coming up in a few days? So yeah, I'm trying to think what else. There's a lot, Stephen, to talk about, but hopefully, oh, I think you're muted. All right, there he goes. There you go.
need for life insurance. I sell a life
Mhm.
policy this afternoon. What's my, if of course I got to get my AHIP and contract and all that. What would be my the play I need to run to get a Medicare appointment right after selling that life insurance policy?
Okay, great question. So you're in the house, you just sold a life insurance policy. You can just let them know, say, this has been great. I'm so happy we could get this taken care of for you. I just want you to be aware, though, um, I also do, and you list the things that you do. We do dental, we do vision, we do annuities and Medicare. End with Medicare.
Okay.
Oh, Medicare. Oh, you do Med. I'm turning 65. Or, I had an agent, they were helping me. They never call me. I've been in the same plan for the last 5 years. I don't know if it's the right plan for me or not. Okay, great. Well, I'd be happy to, um, you know, go over things with you, do a review with you. We'll need to do it in a different appointment, though. Medicare, it's regulated by the government, so we just got to follow these government rules. How about this? I've got a form here. If you could fill out this scope of appointment, this just gives me permission to assist you with Medicare. Let me look at my schedule and see, yep, okay, I'm available and just anything after 48 hours, and then come on back and do the appointment with them.
Up to date on the products. What would be the best, like if I'm brand new to Medicare, right? I've been selling life insurance like crazy, but now I need to get the products down. What would you recommend to me?
So it depends on when you're starting. So in June, July, August, usually up until September too, these carriers in your area, so we're talking Humana, United Healthcare, Aetna, those are our three biggest players, WellCare. They will have uh, seminars basically, and they will go over the details of the plans for that area. Once you start to understand how the plans work, even if you have, let's say, a client in a whole nother area, you're going to be using software. It's called Medicare Center. You can go in and see what plans are available to them. If you think this plan looks good, because you're going to see the details of what the plan covers, what it doesn't cover, what the perks are, like the dental, vision, hearing, things like that. If you have any questions then on it, you can also call the carrier and just say, I just want to be clear, do I understand this plan correctly? So those seminars though are great because they really outline the new features of the plan for the upcoming year, because these plans will change. When I say these plans, I'm talking about Medicare Advantage plans and prescription drug plans. The other thing that you can sell, which is easy. It is literally just about quoting. Once you understand what a Medicare supplemental plan does, it's really going to just be about quoting. And you might even ask a friend or family member who's on Medicare if you can get their Medicare and You book. I should have had that ready. But there is a book that is sent out to Medicare beneficiaries every year, and it's like your Medicare Bible. So that book is going to give you all the details on when you can switch somebody, what a Medicare supplemental plan is going to cover. And a lot of times it will give you some more details on these Medicare Advantage plans too. So I would say, to summarize, try to get that Medicare and You book, go to these seminars by these carriers. It is not a waste of time. It is worth it. Talk to other agents in your area that are doing Medicare, and then don't hesitate to play around with Medicare Center. Look at the details of these plans. And if you think you've narrowed it down, call the carrier. Just make sure you got it covered. One of the biggest things that's really important, and the best way to do it, is to call the carrier, which I know can be a little bit of a pain, but it takes 2 seconds, is finding out which hospitals are in network. If you don't know that as an agent, it doesn't look good. You need to know in your area is this hospital in network with Humana or not? Like, for example, we've got a hospital down here in Sarasota, and it is, I've just recently been to it. It's like a hotel. It's great. I mean, it was amazing. And the doctors and nurses, I had my own room. It was amazing. And then I had to go to another hospital that for the ER, and it was like a third world country. And so, yeah, you know, and you need to know, I found out that one of the carriers, they still have not gotten the contract with the nice hotel. So, and you want to be clear with that because you will have people upset. That's the other thing you have to remember. And not to discourage, you just got to, you know, cross your T's and dot your I's, is that folks that you're working with Medicare, they're using this right away. You know, with life insurance, not that we don't want to do right by people, we're going to do, like Stephen says, you know, Stephen has trained us, you know, NA is trying to put the best interest of your client at the forefront. But the thing is that you set that life insurance policy up, you're not probably, you know, they're not using it until they die. But with Medicare, they're using it day one, right? So you want to make sure that you have served them well. And the beauty of it is, though, if you serve them well, you're not going to just have them as a client, you're going to have 10 of their friends as a client, and the next person, 10 of their friends, you know, it just starts to grow like that. So, yeah, Medicare carrier seminars, Medicare New Book, other agents, and Medicare Center. Yeah, those would be the ways to really get to know those plans.
Have Ivy Wilson.
Yeah.
Gina Hawks knows a ton about Medicare. Maybe just one last thought. If I'm hesitating, right? Like, cause it's just like, it's something else, right? I gotta learn. I gotta like, can you speak to just a little bit on how the renewals are with Medicare and really like, just give me one last push over the edge.
So now it does depend on where you are in your, you know, levels, but you can get to the point where you're making $300. Maybe it doesn't sound like a lot, but $300 per client every year, just coming in for an easy, like I'll give you an example. This past AEP, what I do, and this, I would highly recommend this, use some kind of service like, what's it called? Well, my husband Seth is really our tech guy, but he uses something like Chimp Monkey or something like that, where you can send out a mass email to all of your clients, but it looks personalized to them. And just say, hey, it's that time of year again. We're ready to do reviews and we just want to, you know, we're here for you. And we just want to make sure, has anything changed? Do you need to meet? I don't know if we don't actually word it like that, but we ask them if anything's been changed, any new doctors, medications, things like that, please let us know as we do your review. If we see a reason for us to meet because we need to make a change, you know, we will email you and we'll set up an appointment. So out of, I say right now, I only have 300 clients because my goal is to get to like 500 and beyond. At 500 and beyond, think about it, just for not a lot of work, you got $150,000 just coming in. Now you've got the rest of the year to just go out there and sell some life insurance and annuities. And while you're doing that, you just got some checks coming in. I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer, you know, it's just a no-brainer. So,
But I love it, and that to me that's like it's like just leaving, it's leaving 150 grand a year, just leaving it there, and not, it's like it's on the table. All you gotta do is just do a few things and then get it. Like Eric Belair, like he goes crazy every January when he gets his big check that comes in, or it's actually multiple checks that come in over the course of January. I know he bought a Corvette Stingray this year. I think he bought with his Medicare money. It's just guys, it's a huge opportunity. Adina, thank you very much for sharing with us today. I know. Oh, you got a question?
Got one question.
All right, got a question. You got
All
time
right.
for a question, Adina? I know you're crazy busy.
Sure.
All right.
yeah.
So this is from Anissa. She asked, is the AHIP part of continuing education?
Okay, so we got a question on AHIP. Is AHIP part of continuing education? No, I'm sorry.
She can hear me.
Yes.
Oh, she can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, she can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Never mind. You heard the question.
Oh, yeah. I could hear him. Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Yes, it is. You have to check a box when you go into your AHIP. You have to check a box and say that you want the continuing education credits. I think it's maybe like 25, don't quote me on that, maybe $25 extra. We get a break with different carriers. So I think like Humana gives you a break. It's like $50. Again, don't quote me on that. It's very little. I don't really think about that kind of stuff because it's very little compared to what you're going to get by
Right.
doing this work. But yes, to answer your question, you can get continuing education units with the AHIP.
I love it. I love it. And I know that the Medicare carriers, they got budgets to spend.
Yep.
They will help sponsor seminars. They will help sponsor all kinds of stuff.
They will give you leads. They will help sponsor seminars. Some things are changing just slightly, but I mean, even in times past, they'll just cut you a check. I mean, I've gotten checks just cut to me, $1,000, $2,000 just to, hey, Dina, can you go out and sell some more? Sure. Yeah. Now, I know it's awesome. I will say, I'm sure Humana doesn't want to hear this from me, but I am still going to do the best thing for my client. So if that's not that with them, because at the end of the day, you've got to build your reputation.
Yeah.
You've got to build your reputation. And if you do that, like I say, it just starts flowing in. The hard part, and I don't want you to be, and I'm only saying this because I don't want you guys to get discouraged. I was like, when am I going to get my first client? I was working it. When am I going to get my first 10? But don't give up. You'll get them. And then it just starts just rolling in. So.
Yeah. When I learned about all the stuff that the carriers will do for you to help you sell Medicare, I was like, God, if life insurance was like that.
I know. It's true.
So huge opportunity. Thank you again, Adina, for helping. And thank you for leading the way on our team with Medicare. And I'm just telling you guys, it's a huge, huge opportunity. You already have the clients, especially those of y'all that have been with us, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You've got the clients. And then you can add all this other stuff that the carriers will do to help you get more clients. It's a massive opportunity. I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, so I appreciate you making this work out, Adina. And I'm just telling you guys, let's go out, let's get this thing, let's add Medicare to the mix. Imagine every year knowing you're starting the year off making 150 grand a year, making 160 grand a year before you even start selling life insurance, before your team even starts selling life insurance, before you start recruiting, just knowing that's there. I'm telling you, you can build that base too. So thank you so much, Adina. Guys, we won't have a call next week because the office will be closed for Memorial Day. But I'm telling you, let's go into family reunion absolutely on fire. We have got the rest of May and we've got June coming up on the calendar just in front of us. I'm telling you, seeing these submit numbers, seeing the production coming in, I am so excited about what the back half of this year holds for you, for the whole team, and what it holds for what we can get done as far as setting ourselves up on a whole other platform going into 2026. So thank you again, Adina. Guys, let's get out. Let's get after it.